In the public domain, The American Clowns of Criticism. Saroyan published fewer words in 1929 than in 1928, but much like those rookie year pieces, this was an ambitious piece of writing that both does and doesn't fit in with his later production. Saroyan is taking on the critics, arguably the three most widely known critics and editors in the US at the time, in a piece that does feel somewhat like a literary young buck trying to get the attention of the big names. It doesn't seem to have worked, but it also doesn't seem to have done any damage. The three critics, E. Haldeman Julius, H. L. Mencken, and George John Nathan, are considered some of the most important cultural figures of the time, and their influence can even be felt today. Haldeman Julius is best remembered for his series of Little Blue Books, and as an ardent atheist and socialist writer. H. L. Mencken has been called one of the most significant intellectuals of the first half of the 20th century. His writings ranged from journalism, including the widely reprinted coverage of the Scopes monkey trial, to scholarly works like The American Language. Georgie Nathan was a towering figure in magazine writing, criticism, and editing. Nathan and Mencken worked together often, first as editors of The Smart Set, a leading literary magazine, and later founding the American Mercury. The Mercury had a tremendous influence on Saroyan. Quote, "But when Georgie Nathan and Mencken founded the American Mercury, I studied the first issue in 1924 from cover to cover at the public library. Writing on an Underwood upright typewriter at 3204 Almonte Way, I began to send him essays, which came back in terrible silence in the self-addressed stamped envelope, each manuscript with a clipped-on rejection slip." Saroyan mentioned writing The American Clowns of Criticism, as well as the same piece republished in Brian Derwent's Saroyan Memoirs. "I got mad and wrote an attack on Mencken, Nathan, Haldeman Julius, and God. But neither the Bookmen, Scribner's, the North American Review, Century, nor any of the other quality magazines wanted the thing. It may be that Saroyan forgot that Overland published the piece. It may also be that Saroyan didn't consider Overland to be a quality magazine, though its heritage and connections to legends like Bret Hart and Mark Twain certainly would have appealed to Saroyan. There does not appear to be any sort of coverage of Saroyan's article. Otherland was widely known nationwide as the leading magazine for promoting California literary voices, but sales were largely in California and along the West Coast, and the three mentioned critics were all located on the East Coast and largely focused on New York City. The piece also didn't seem to have damaged Saroyan's reputation with at least two of the three subjects of the piece. H. L. Mencken and Saroyan met and discussed a great many things. By the late 1930s, Georgie Nathan had become Saroyan's most ardent supporter, especially in the theater, was instrumental in gaining Saroyan's entry into the Broadway scene.